Hi, my name is Dennis Arp, and I'm a beekeeper. A lot of people, honey is just honey, but they don't really know what goes into getting that honey in a jar and handing it to a customer. For the general public, when they think of bees, probably the first thing they think about is that they sting. It terrifies most people, but they produce honey, which most people like. So there's two different emotions that are kind of associated with the same critter. They're just pretty intriguing that just that group of insects can actually gather that much stored food. And they're important, I think, for the environment just to do their pollination. Honey is condensed nectar from flowers. The bees gather that into a little honey storage crop. And they add some enzymes to it, store it in the honeycombs in the beeswax. It basically converts that nectar into what we think of as honey. Different flowers will bloom at different times of the year based on elevation and the types of flowers they are. So we'll actually move the colonies, and we can produce honey from March until early October. The bottom two boxes are what we call brood boxes. It's kind of the bees' home base. And then we try to get them to store more honey than what they need. In these upper boxes, which what we call supers, they can store 150 or 200 pounds of honey more than what they will need. And then the beekeepers can actually harvest that honey as a surplus. When the bees fill a comb with honey, they actually put a wax cap over top of the cells. These frames then will go through our uncapper, which are a couple of water jacketed knives. They cut the cappings off, they basically open the cells, and then the empty combs, still with the honeycomb attached, will be put back on other beehives and they'll refill them again.
Honey is such a great ingredient for cocktails. It can give you the essence of floral, of citrus, brings up just a whole nother level of flavor that sugar can't give you. There are over 300 different varieties of honey. We chose to use the orange blossom. It picks up these really beautiful floral notes and citrus notes. We use 1-to-1 with hot water, and you have honey water. So it'll dissolve a little bit easier. It's just mind-blowing to see how much we can do with honey.
It hasn't changed a lot. There's still a lot of just hand labor. You can't just sit back and just push buttons and make it all happen. When I hand this to a customer, it's a jar of honey to them, but I just marvel at what the bees actually put into it. It takes hundreds of thousands of bee trips just to make a pound of honey. The bees put a lot of work into it.
It's important to be part of these stories, and it's great to learn about who's making the honey and where the honey comes from and bring it back to P.F. Chang's.
It just makes you feel good that you're producing a product that people enjoy. I think anytime you're doing something for somebody that makes them happy, that makes you feel good.